My. How about the Chicago Sky? You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio podcast, and hope everybody's having a wonderful day. 93-58, the Indiana Fever took down the Chicago Sky. You have to ask yourself, was that a dream? Was that something that happened? No, it is a reality. Basically, the Chicago Sky, again, 17 points in the first quarter, 15 coming back in the second, and you pick up 13 in the third and 13 in the fourth. Now, scoring 58 points, you're not going to win any WNBA game scoring 58 points. So that right there is a major issue. But I see with the Chicago Sky, I see a lot of things that are good. First game, first of all, Tyler Marsh, first game, just getting going. And I tell you, in the world of basketball, pressure bursts pipes, right? You're going to have some people get in the game, won't be able to get it done. And you look at it, Angel Reese, pretty much 17 rebounds, getting in there 5 for 14. I mean, played a good game, 12 points, but minus 20, right? So I got to put all these numbers together and say, wow, who, what, when, where, and why. Here's what I got for you, folks. The Indiana Fever are a good team. Chicago's a good team. Chicago's missing a piece. I'm going to tell you, when I look at Courtney Vandersloot, I'm trying to see if she a step slow. Because Vandersloot has shown me she cannot paint a Picasso to get to the paint. And to be the guard for the Chicago Sky, you got to do that. I'm going to tell you, the Chicago Sky maybe need to revisit Chennedy Carter. Chennedy Carter is the missing piece to this team. Chennedy Carter can handle the ball. That's another thing I saw yesterday. Now, you got Jefferson's out, injury, but Chicago Sky had a little trouble handling the ball, not used to being in an open court handling the ball. And this deal with not having Chennedy Carter, and I'm going to talk D-Wade, Dwayne Wade, you got Jeff P. Whatever that was, if it's a personality conflict, I wish you could get it resolved. Because if I'm looking at this roster here, what you're missing is Chennedy Carter. And Chennedy Carter was the kind of player was tough, right? So you got to play Caitlin. You got to have somebody that can stop Caitlin and can match up with Caitlin. Well, Chennedy Carter could do that. Now, for whatever reason, they went away from it. But at the end of the day, no one's going to convince me 17, 15, 13, and 13 points a quarter, you're going to win any game. Scoring 58 points in the WNBA, you're not going to win, right? So you got Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso. And folks, at the end of the day, let me clarify something that really affected the game. Because sometimes you're going to have three teams playing, right? Every game has three teams. What do you mean, Money Mike, you got three teams? Well, you got Chicago, you got Indiana, you got officials. For whatever reason, with Camila Cardoso, they had made up in their mind they were not going to call a foul, period. I don't care if she lost an arm. I don't care if her arm was hacked off. They weren't going to do it. So it threw her rhythm off and couldn't get going. I mean, look at Cardoso came out, though. She's a minus 13, put in 22 minutes, right? And 7 points. We didn't get the production there. Here's the deal. Vandersloot runs in there 29 minutes. Okay, is a minus 25. That's the highest on the team. That's a minus 25 for Vandersloot. Folks, let me show you how I evaluate it. I take the plus and I take the minus. It's the last stat in the ESPN box score. What are they trying to tell you? When that player is on the court, on the floor, what is their productivity and effect throughout the game? Meaning, you could go score 30 points. That's why I never evaluate analytics so high. I look at intangibles. You could go score 30 points, but you're a minus 8. That means while you were in the game, you gave up 38 points. So you had no emphasis on defense. Now, Chicago's got great shooters. I mean, you want to talk about some great. Rebecca Allen's a ball player. And, you got Haley Van Lith. This one I'm keeping an eye on, right? Because I wanted Chicago Sky to draft James out of North Carolina State. I thought that was the best pick. They took Haley Van Lith. Haley Van Lith got on the court, was 2 for 2, right? Played 4 minutes, but was a -5. James got on the court the other day for the Wings. They got beat down pretty bad too. Played about 6 minutes, was a +5. So whatever happens when James is on the court, it's a plus. I'm watching Haley Van Lith because she can break down the paint, but on the defensive end, that's a tougher assignment for her, folks. That one there is going to be tough, right? Elizabeth Williams, minus 22. I mean, you got the entire team just, they laid a flat egg, and then, Tyler Marsh retired, and he said, look, we're done. Let's go ahead and move on. Let me get the other players of the game, right? But the Chicago Sky are missing a piece. They're missing a guard. They're missing somebody that can control the tempo of the game, and they're missing somebody that can bring that ball up in the backcourt with pressure. Angel Reese is going to grow. Confidence is there. Ariel Atkins is just waiting. Now, here's the deal. Because you don't have anybody that can break down the paint, now you're going to ask Ariel Atkins to start taking the ball and going downhill, right? So it's going to bring her out of rhythm a little bit. And this is a problem. Jefferson, when you watch Jefferson as she comes back, folks, she's got a leg injury they've got listed, did not play. But I want you to watch how Jefferson breaks down the paint. And you got Natasha Cloud breaks down the paint. You got other players that could do it, right? Because you got Chelsea Gray can break down the paint. Chicago Sky, Vandersloot is supposed to be able to break down the paint, and that's what's not happening, right? So you got to look at that. Onyenware, minus 17, and Williams. These guys are going to pick up. Bynum. Here's the deal with Bynum. Bynum comes in there, and Bynum's going to shoot the ball, but Bynum's minus 19 as well with 8 points. So don't be over analytics, because at the end of the day, the Chicago Sky need a guard that can run that point and can break it down. If they do that, they can get it in the spots. Also, Camila Cardoso, you got to just stick with it. If you're going to run through it, you're going to do it, and the high-low and everything, you got to stick with it, and you're going to have to give her target spots, right? Because with Camila Cardoso, she's got to catch the ball in the right spot. So you got to have a target you're throwing into. That allows her to develop and get in there, run her counter moves, and get her footwork going. None of that took place. She only played a short amount of time and got up 9 shots. So the whole thing about it is the team shot 29%, right? You got to look at that. You shot 29%. Then you go to the three-point line, you shoot 22%. Not that you were afraid of taking them. You took 27 threes. You just got to knock down shots. That's going to happen over time. I got to keep an eye on Vandersloot because I got to know if she's a step slower or not. Tyler Marsh has got to take a look at this entire lineup and find the pieces of rotation that fit, what their conditioning is, and what they can do when their roles are defined, because this one here, you played good basketball first quarter, you got a little way in the second. But when you got to the third and fourth, you just flattened out. That shouldn't happen with professional ball players. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. We're coming to you. Too Hot Radio, coming under the umbrella of Rock Nation, and we are getting better and better. We got the Chicago Sky. These two teams, I told you they could play somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 times. What does that mean? They got 4 more regular season meetings, and after they do the regular season meetings, then they can get in a playoff series of 7 games. After 12 games, boy, you know what? It is what it is. Angel Reese got hacked by Caitlin Clark, and I saw Angel Reese stand up and say, "What the blank is wrong with you?" Right? So it was kind of a reaction like, why are you hitting me like this? Well, last year, Angel Reese smacked her across the head. The gloves are coming out, but that's going to be every night in the WNBA. It's whoever, they started with, put a ring on it. They ain't finished yet. These two, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, everybody wants to talk about it's not about them. It is about them, and they ain't finished yet. Chicago took a punch in the mouth. Now you got to say to yourself, we from Chicago, we going to punch back. But the performance you put on there, 58 points, you ain't punching nobody. I told everybody I'm going to drop some hammers on you. I got to be truthful. And one thing I'm going to tell you is this is the truth. Chicago's got to have a point guard that can get to the paint. If you can't get to the paint, you can't be running. We got too many shooters, and we got to draw defense. And if we don't get that going, that's going to be a problem. Right? So at the end of the day, Indiana Fever fans, you know what? I got to walk across the street. I'm walking on the Chicago side now. And here's what I'm telling you. Chicago, you got to get the ones that want to be players for Chicago. You wearing that uniform, you don't go out there and drop 58. You're a pro. And if you do that, you quit. Now, we're not saying one game makes a turnip, or one game is going to grow a bed of roses, or one game is going to lift you to the WNBA championship. No, because we got a whole season we got to play. But the tone was supposed to be set yesterday. It wasn't. Tyler Marsh got to go back to the board. D-Wade and Jeff P., you need to call Chennedy Carter. It's Money Mike Sick here. I ain't going to sugarcoat you. Get rid of the personalities. Get Chennedy Carter back to the Chicago Sky, and you'll see something different, folks. I guarantee you that. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. All things are possible to those who believe. And we're telling you now, my, what happened to the Chicago Sky? We'll keep it pushing, and we're going to see you soon.